अब आज साइंस डे भी है, विज्ञान दिवस, राष्ट्रीय विज्ञान दिवस, नेशनल साइंस डे। आज साइंस डे के दिन वैज्ञानिक डॉक्टर शेखर बसु जी हमारे साथ हैं, निशांत जी हमारे साथ हैं, डॉक्टर सुतपा जी हमारे साथ हैं, सुतपा वर्धन जी। आई होप शी विल ऑल्सो गाइड। तो आज हम साइंस डे वैज्ञानिकों के साथ सेलिब्रेट करना चाहते हैं। मैं आदरणीय विष्णु प्रसाद शर्मा सर से आग्रह करता हूं उनके स्वागत आशीर्वचन।
Good evening. Good evening. Namaskar. I, Professor Dr. Vishnu Prasad Sharma, welcome all of you to this AYUSH SAMRIDDHI International Conference series on health sciences. Most important subject today we have. In this webinar, we have eminent speaker. I want to welcome Dr. Saikat Kumar Basu, Executive Research Director, Performance Sheet, Lethbridge, Alberta, Canada. Namaskar, sir, and welcome you to this Health Science Ayush Samriddhi webinar on health sciences. Next, I want to welcome Dr. Nishant Shukla, Professor, Department of Kaya Chikitsa, Sri VM Mehta Ayurvedic College from Anandpur. Namaskar, sir, and welcome you to this Ayush Samriddhi webinar. Once again, I welcome all the eminent speaker, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, to this Ayush Samriddhi International Conference series on health sciences. Namaskar, over to Pavanji. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Now I would like to request Professor V.K. Agnihotri, sir, to start the celebration.
Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you, Professor Vanshamaji. Really, as we all know, we cannot deny, or nobody can deny that Ayurveda itself is also a science. But of whom's respect and honor we celebrate this National Science Day, it's an entirely different issue. Our great scientists was already adorned this earth and the whole scientific system. We honor them with the view that they have opened so many vistas to go on the scientific manner. May it be only physics, may it be chemistry, may it be not only based on the mechanics or the machines, but also reaching to the space or to moon. The whole day is dedicated to all of the scientists to birth in our country, our great country. So in their honor and respect, we celebrate this National Science Day. And different scientists of present era, I mean the new scientists, we can say, after him, every day is new in that way. So every new scientist is thinking according to his own thinking, his own manner, viewpoint, and also his own vision. So dreaming about something very special in the terms of scientific atmosphere or arena, it becomes necessary that one should come forward to talk about the Ayurvedic science also, in what way it can be exploited, not only in our country, worldwide, so that we should not lag behind, that we are not having our scientific attitude, or the person who said to be called scientist, they should also consider us as scientific pathy, and we are belonging to the medical fraternity, of course. So it should also be given the due respect worldwide, so that we say that we are traditional, we are having a traditionally knowledge, but it is completely scientifically proved. It depends that what are the parameters for proving it, whether it was deemed by the divine sight of our ancestors, our purvaj, our acharyas, or it can be tested in lab in test tube. That's a different issue, but science is still vital and it gives results. So with these words, I again welcome all the guest speakers of today, those who are going to present their presentation on this day with a great experience and knowledge. Thank you so much, and over to Mr. Pawan Sharma.
Thank you.
Namaskar.
Thank you very much, sir. Now I would like to request Dr. Sakat Kumar Vasu, Sutpa ji, Suparna ji, and निशांत जी और विष्णु प्रसाद सर हो गए हैं, तो जाइएगा मत, आप सभी वक्ता हैं। अग्निहोत्री सर मंच संचालन हेतु प्रार्थना। डॉक्टर सैकत कुमार वसु प्लीज। Am I audible to you, Dr. Sakat Vasu? डॉक्टर सैकत जी,
दिन में आपने काफी बातें कर ली होगी।
नहीं नहीं, कहाँ मुलाकात हुई?
ही इज कमिंग।
डॉक्टर सैकत कुमार वसु प्लीज अनम्यूट। डॉक्टर बसु, I don't think we are audible to him or he is comfortable yet. So I would like to request again Dr. Nishant Shukla ji, then I would like to request Dr. Suparna ji on the topic science. Dr. Nishant ji, please unmute.
नमस्कार सर। ये कहना कि आयुर्वेद वैज्ञानिक नहीं है, ये एक किसी भी हिसाब से सर और पैर रहित जो है ये बात है। और कुछ एक पक्ष जो है यहाँ पर मैं रखना चाहूंगा कि आयुर्वेद को हम केवल अमृत के लिए नहीं कह रहे हैं। आयुर्वेदो अमृता नाम, केवल ये नहीं है, पर आयुर्वेद एक सच में जो है एक पूर्ण वैज्ञानिक पूर्ण विज्ञान, अपने आप में एक पूर्ण विज्ञान है। क्यों? इसके लिए कुछ एक मैंने जो है ये अपने यहाँ पर प्रस्तुति में रखा है, आपके साथ में ये शेयर कर रहा हूँ। आयुर्वेद की जब हम बात करते हैं तो आयुर्वेद इन 21st सेंचुरी, आज की फोकस क्या होगी, आज की आयुर्वेद की जरूरत क्या है, आज की सोसाइटी की जरूरत क्या है, तो उसका जो है ये एक मात्र जवाब है कि आयुर्वेद ही सोसाइटी की जरूरत है, और आयुर्वेद ही सक्सेसफुली जो सफरिंग है उनको जो है ये कम कर सकता है। इट इज द नीडेड इन 21st सेंचुरी। आज काफी सारे एडवांसेस हो रहे हैं, काफी सारे साइंटिफिक डेवलपमेंट हो रहे हैं। इन सभी चीजों के बावजूद भी आयुर्वेद की उपयोगिता जो है वो और सर्वोपरिता जो है ये स्वयं सिद्ध है, और उस स्वयं सिद्ध को हमें जो है वो लोगों तक पहुंचाने की जरूरत है। शाश्वत ऑफ द आयुर्वेद, अगर हम बात करते हैं कि जो सिद्धांत आज से 3000 साल पहले जो हुआ करते थे, आज उतनी ही जो है ये कारगर है। जो औषधियां चरक सुश्रुत वाग्भट में लिखी गई हैं, चरक और सुश्रुत की हम बात करें तो उनके जो भी गुण प्रभाव है वो आज भी उसी प्रकार से जो है ये मिलते हैं। केवल हमारी जरूरत यह है कि उसको हम किस प्रकार से अडॉप्ट करते हैं, किस प्रकार से उनका जो है ये यूज करते हैं। दिस इज द होलिस्टिक साइंस। ये केवल जो है एक पक्ष को ये ट्रीट करता हो ऐसा नहीं है, पर जब आयुर्वेद की हम ट्रीटमेंट करते हैं या फिर आयुर्वेद ट्रीटमेंट हम प्लान करते हैं तो शरीर के हर एक अवयव को, हर एक पार्ट को, हर एक कंपोनेंट को हम ट्रीट करते हैं। जिस प्रकार से जीवित शरीर के लिए 4 चीजें हम बताते हैं, शरीर, सत्व, आत्मा और इंद्रिय, तो इन चारों की चिकित्सा जो है ये एक ही साथ हम करते हैं। मलेरिया की ट्रीटमेंट हुई और नींद उड़ गई, मलेरिया की ट्रीटमेंट हुई और खून बनना बंद हो गया, तो आयुर्वेद में जो है ये बिल्कुल जो है ये नहीं है। क्योंकि जब आयुर्वेद की ट्रीटमेंट हम करते हैं, जब आयुर्वेद में रोग को हम समझते हैं, तो इन सारे पक्षों को हम साथ में लेकर के ये चलते हैं। आयुर्वेद कैन बी यूज्ड इन द मेडिकल इमरजेंसीज। डेफिनेटली ये एक हमारे पास कुछ एक विधाएं हैं, इनकी यूज जो है ये काफी कम हो गई है। सुश्रुत में सर्जिकल प्रोसीजर, इमरजेंसी सर्जिकल प्रोसीजर, मैं उसका जो है ये एक्सपर्ट नहीं हूँ, पर ये काफी सारी जो है वो टेक्सचुअल रेफरेंस, प्राइमरी रेफरेंस एविडेंसेस जो है ये अवेलेबल है। और आज जो हम स्किन ग्राफ्ट का देख रहे हैं, तो बेसिकली दिस इज फ्रॉम दी इंडिया, ये यूके गया। तो इसकी स्टोरी में ये था कि टीपू सुल्तान को ये इंजरी हुई वॉर में, और उनका जो है ये नाक कट गया था, और वो बैडली जो है ये वुंडेड थे, और उनकी डेथ जो है ये सर्टन थी। पर उनको ये ग्राफ्टिंग की कि उनका नोज फिर से जो है ये लग गया, और फिर जो है ये सेकंड टाइम वो वॉर में आए, और ब्रिटिशर्स ने देखा कि उनको जो है ये ग्राफ्ट की गई थी, नाक जो है वो कट हो गई थी, फिर भी जो है ये उग गई है। तो वो किस प्रकार से उगी, तो उन्होंने ये ढूंढना शुरू किया, और जिसने ये किया था, एक कुम्हार था, तो उनको रीच करके, डरा धमका करके वो पूरी जो है वो विधि समझी, और उसके बाद ये यूके ले गए। वहां पर उन्होंने जो है उस पर थोरोली वर्क किया, और आज की जो है ये सिस्टम हमारे पास जो है ये डेवलप होकर के आई है। तो बेसिकली इमरजेंसी ट्रीटमेंट भी आयुर्वेद में है, केवल उसके लिए वैद्यों को एक अभ्यास करने की जरूरत है, और लोगों में ये विश्वास होने की जरूरत है कि आयुर्वेद में ये चिकित्सा उपलब्ध है। मूलोच्छेदन चिकित्सा ये आयुर्वेद का सबसे बड़ा जो है ये इम्पोर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट है। मूलोच्छेदन चिकित्सा में अब मैं अपने बच्चों को खास करके समझाता हूँ। हम जब हम तमक श्वास की बात करते हैं, तो अगर वाग्भट के हिसाब से बात करें, तो ये कफ प्रधान व्याधि है, वात प्रधान व्याधि है, और जहां पर कफ का उत्क्लेश हुए वहां पर जो है ये वमन करना। पर जब हम चिकित्सा पढ़ाते हैं, ये आवश्यक लाभ उससे जो है ये मिल जाता है। जो भी एक्यूमुलेटेड प्लक्स है, कफ प्लक्स है, वो इमीडिएटली रिमूव हो जाता है, और वो रिमूव होने के बाद पेशेंट को रिलीफ मिल जाती है। पर अटैक के बाद जो 2 अटैक के बीच का जो टाइम है, उसको अगर कम करना हो, रिहेबिलिटेशन करना हो, जो टिश्यू लाइनिंग है उसको जो है वो हेल्दी करना हो, जहां से ऑक्सीजन एक्सचेंज जो है ये प्रॉपरली हो सके, एल्वियोलर सैक जो है उसकी हेल्थ जो है ये मेंटेन हो, उसके लिए विरेचन ही एकमात्र उपाय है, जो कि टिश्यू की स्ट्रक्चरल इंटीग्रिटी को मेंटेन कर सकता है, हिस्टोलॉजिकल स्टेटस जो है ये नॉर्मलाइज कर सकता है। और वहां पर उपयोगिता विरेचन की है। लॉन्ग टर्म की अगर हम बात करनी है, लॉन्ग टर्म ट्रीटमेंट की बात करनी है, रिहेबिलिटेटिव ट्रीटमेंट की बात करनी है, तो यहाँ पर हमको जो है वो तमक श्वास में विरेचन ही करवाना पड़ेगा, ना कि वमन। आज हम ये करते हैं कि भाई वमन हो गया और उससे रिलीफ हो गया, डेफिनेटली ब्रोंकोस्पाज्म रिलीव हो जाता है, ये काफी इफेक्टिव है। पर इस अटैक को रिकरेंस ना हो, टॉलरेंस जो है ये बढ़े, हाइपर सेंसिटिविटी कम हो, तो उसके लिए जो है हमें विरेचन पर ही फोकस करना पड़ेगा। सॉरी सर, ये स्लाइड शो मोड में नहीं है, मैं कर लेता हूँ। यूजफुलनेस ऑफ आयुर्वेद। सोऽयम् आयुर्वेदो शाश्वतो निर्दिश्यते अनादित्वात् स्वभाव संसिद्ध लक्षणत्वात् भाव स्वभाव नित्यत्वात्। तो ये काफी इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट है कि आयुर्वेद जो है वो स्वयं सिद्ध है, अनादि है, को किसी ने, कोई व्यक्ति विशेष ने, अनादि का मैं यहाँ पर थोड़ा एक जो है ये चेंज करता हूँ, इट इज नॉट विद द ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ अर्निंग मनी। लोगों ने ही क्या किया है, हम जैसे 2 हाथ 2 पैर एक सर वाले आदमी ने ही इसका जो है ये किया है। पर द ऑब्जेक्टिविटी ऑफ डिस्क्राइबिंग आयुर्वेद और द एडिंग नॉलेज इन द आयुर्वेद, इस बात पर विशेष रखा गया कि इससे जो है वो लोगों का भला हो, समस्त भूत तत्वों का जो है ये इससे जो है ये भला हो। तो ये उद्देश्य होने के कारण ये अनादि है, स्वभाव संसिद्ध है। त्रिकाल जो है इसमें जो है ये कोई चेंज नहीं होता। उनकी जो थियरी है सर्वतंत्र सिद्धांत है, तो ये सभी जगह पर इक्वली एप्लीकेबल है, हर एक टाइम में वो इक्वली एप्लीकेबल है। तो दिस इज द मोस्ट बेनिफिशियल पार्ट ऑफ आयुर्वेद एंड दिस मेक्स दिस साइंस। साइंस में एक चीज हम हमेशा कहते हैं कि द थियरी और द थिंग शुड बी रिप्रोड्यूसिबल एंड रिलायबल। वही कंडीशन अगर होती है तो वही रिजल्ट्स हमको मिलने चाहिए। तो आयुर्वेद की जब हम बात करते हैं, जितने भी मेडिकल सिस्टम कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री एंड अल्टरनेटिव मेडिसिन को हम देखते हैं, तो आयुर्वेद ही एक ऐसे सिस्टम है जहां पर लिटरली एविडेंस है, और वो लिटरली एविडेंस जो है ये रिलायबल भी है और रिप्रोड्यूसिबल भी है। तो ये चीज जो है, जिसको भाव स्वभाव नित्यत्व और स्वभाव संसिद्ध लक्षणात्व से हम उसको जो है ये आज के हिसाब से उसको हम डिस्क्राइब कर सकते हैं। जब हम आयुर्वेद के ऑब्जेक्टिव की बात करते हैं, व्हाट शुड बी द ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ आयुर्वेद, तो डेफिनेटली हम स्वस्थ से स्वास्थ्य रक्षण, मातुरस्य विकार प्रशमनम की बात करते हैं। पर बेसिकली जब हम बात करनी है तो ये धातुओं की क्रिया पर है। तो एक जो है दोष हमेशा जो है उनमें जो है ये तरतम भाव से ये फिजियोलॉजिकल लिमिट्स में उनके जो है ये चेंज होते हैं, तो वो मोटाइल सर्केडियन रिदम में उनकी चेंजेस जो है ये मिलती है। जबकि धातुएं जो है, रसादि जो भी धातु है, रस रस रक्त मांस में अस्थि मज्जा शुक्र, ये हर एक कोश में भी है और संपूर्ण शरीर में भी है, पर ये कंपैरेटिवली स्थिर है और दोष उनके माध्यम से काम करते हैं। तो जो हम स्वस्थ की बात करते हैं वो धातु परक है, और रोग की जब हम चिकित्सा करते हैं तो उसका उद्देश्य यह है कि धातुओं की साम्यता हो। पैथोलॉजी में हम चीज ये पढ़ाते हैं कि भाई किस प्रकार से हिस्टोलॉजी और होम्योस्टेसिस को हम बैलेंस कर सकें। तो रीगेनिंग ऑफ द होम्योस्टेसिस इज द ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ द ट्रीटमेंट, और ये कंप्लीटली ये इसी का ट्रांसलेशन है, कार्यम धातु साम्यम, धातु साम्यम क्रिया च उक्ता तंत्रस्य अस्य प्रयोजनम। हाउ टू अचीव दिस ऑब्जेक्टिव, तो जो पूरा जो लिटरेरी एविडेंस है ये हित और अहित के हिसाब से जो है ये दिया गया है। और हित और अहित किसके हिसाब से? स्वस्थ और आतुर दोनों के लिए। स्वस्थ को अगर स्वस्थ रहना है तो हित एक है, अस्वस्थ है उनको अगर स्वस्थ होना है तो उनके लिए हित अलग है। स्वस्थ से अगर रोगी होते हैं तो वो जब अहित सेवन करते हैं तो रोगी होते हैं। तो ये पूरा और उनके मान के साथ, उनकी क्वांटिटी के साथ इनको जो है ये डिस्क्राइब आयुर्वेद में किया गया है। इज अ होलिस्टिक मैनेजमेंट। जब हम होलिस्टिक मैनेजमेंट की बात करते हैं, ये हमेशा हम बात करते हैं व्हाट इज द होलिस्टिक मैनेजमेंट। It is a form of healing that considers the whole person, body, mind, spirit, and emotion in the quest of optimal health and wellness. According to the holistic medicine philosophy, one can achieve optimal health, the primary goal of the holistic practice, by gaining the proper balance in life. तो हम चार चीजों का जो है ये बैलेंस की बात करते हैं: शरीर, आत्मा, मन और इंद्रिय। सम्यक प्रयोग सर्वेशम सिद्धिराख्यात कर्मणाम। तो सिद्ध होने के लिए आपको जो है ये क्वांटिफाई करना पड़ेगा, आपको हर एक चीज को जो है वो फाइनाइट डिस्क्राइब करना पड़ेगा। और जब आप उसको फाइनाइटली एनालाइज करेंगे और फाइनाइटली उसको मैनेजमेंट करेंगे, तभी जो है ये ट्रीटमेंट आपकी जो है ये सफल होगी। Now, when we are planning the treatment, it is not the treatment of the as per the SOP. यहाँ पर जो SOP है ये ऑब्जेक्टेड है इंडिविजुअलिटी पर, और उस इंडिविजुअलिटी को हम जब बात करते हैं, उस इंडिविजुअलिटी से हम जो है ये ट्रीट करते हैं, और उसके हिसाब से हम क्राफ्ट करते हैं मेडिकेशन का, ट्रीटमेंट क्राफ्ट करते हैं। तो दैट ट्रीटमेंट शुड बी विद द अप्रोच कि भाई लाभ ही हो। आयुर्वेद में फार्माकोविजिलेंस है या नहीं, ये चर्चा का विषय कुछ हद तक नहीं है, क्योंकि जब हम ट्रीटमेंट की बात करते हैं तो वहां पर एक काफी जो है वो क्लियर कट इंस्ट्रक्शन या फिर क्लियर कट गाइडलाइन है कि सम्यक प्रयोग निमित्ता सर्व कर्माणम सिद्धिरष्टाः। तो ये जो है ये सम्यक प्रयोग की जो है ये बात की गई। सम्यक प्रयोग क्या है उसको आगे चरक बताते हैं। प्रयोगम शमयत व्याधि, व्याधि जो है उनमें शमन होना चाहिए, रोगी के रोग के लक्षण कम होने चाहिए, रोगी में मिलने वाले जितने भी साइंस है वो कम होने चाहिए और उनके जो मार्कर्स है वो कम होने चाहिए। पर उसके साथ साथ जब हम ये ट्रीट कर रहे हैं तो उसमें से कोई दोष या दूष्य की दृष्टि जो है वो नहीं होनी चाहिए। यो न अन्यम उदीरय, कोई जो है ये दूसरा जो है ये उद्दीरण जो है ये नहीं होना चाहिए, दोष का उद्दीरण नहीं होना चाहिए। जैसे श्वास की बात करते हैं तो श्वास में कफ कृत्वा वातरम वात कृत्वा कफरम न कार्यम न एकांतिकम प्राय श्रेयो अनिलापम। तो इस प्रकार से जो है ये गाइडलाइंस दी गई है। आज हम फार्मेको विजिलेंस की बात करते हैं कि भाई मेडिसिन को यूज किया और उसकी से ये प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है, कॉम्बिनेशन से ये प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है, को थेरेपी के कारण ये प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है, इंडिविजुअल में नहीं हो रहा है। तो ये सभी चीजों को आयुर्वेद में इंटीग्रेट कर लिया गया है। दिस इज दी, मैं समझता हूं कि इससे ज्यादा कोई जो है ये साइंस इतना जो है ये दूर तक का विचार नहीं कर सकता। तो आयुर्वेद खुद जो है एक पूर्ण विज्ञान है। चिकित्सा की जब हम बात करते हैं तो एक बात जो मैंने अभी बताई कि भी होम्योस्टेसिस मैकेनिज्म की, आज हम होम्योस्टेसिस मैकेनिज्म की बात कर रहे हैं, होम्योस्टेसिस रिस्टोरेशन की बात कर रहे हैं। तो ये भी आयुर्वेद में चरक में जो है ये काफी क्लियर कट जो है ये उन्होंने बताया। प्रकृति स्थापनम, चिकित्सा की जब हम पर्याय की बात करते हैं, ये उपक्षय के पर्याय की बात नहीं है, ये केवल चिकित्सा के पर्याय की बात है। जहां पर दोष और दूष्य कोई सम्मूर्छना विशेष को ध्यान में रखकर की चिकित्सा होती है और वहां पर एक पर्याय चिकित्सा का प्रकृति स्थापन दिया गया है। तो प्रकृति मीन्स जो उत्तक हैं, जो कोश हैं, जो सेल्स हैं, उसकी ओरिजिनल स्टेटस को रीगेन होना। ये हाइपरप्लाजिया, हाइपरट्रॉफी, नेक्रोसिस, ये कंप्लीट जो है ये जो नेक्रोज हो गए वो रिकवरी नहीं हो सकती। पर जिनमें ये रिकवरी पॉसिबल है वहां पर उनको जो है ये उसकी ओरिजिनल स्टेटस में लाना, तो ये आयुर्वेद का ऑब्जेक्टिव है। तो दिस इज ऑल्सो दी वन ऑफ द इम्पोर्टेंट वन की जिससे हम साबित कर सकते हैं कि आयुर्वेद एक साइंटिफिक मेडिकल सिस्टम है। तो इन कुछ शब्दों के साथ मैं अपने विचारों को यहाँ पर पूर्ण विराम देता हूँ। और मैं आभारी हूँ पवन शर्मा जी का कि जिन्होंने मुझे इस गंभीर विषय पर अपने विचारों को व्यक्त करने के लिए आमंत्रित किया। और मैं अपने सभी गुरुजनों का चरण स्पर्श करता हूँ कि उन्होंने मुझे इस विषय पर बोलने की अनुमति दी। थैंक यू वेरी मच सर।
बहुत बहुत आभार आपका, बहुत बहुत आभार जी। अग्निहोत्री सर।
ये बिल्कुल आपने सही कहा कि इसमें ये कहना बेसिर पैर की बात होगी कि आयुर्वेद साइंटिफिक नहीं है। सच है, जब से ये साइंस की समझ वाले लोग आगे आए तो उन्होंने आयुर्वेद को परंपरागत माना, साइंटिफिक नहीं माना। लेकिन सच्चाई ये है कि साइंस की परिभाषा जितनी भी गहराई तक की जाए, आयुर्वेद हमेशा वहां पर खरा उतरता है। समझने की और समझाने की बात खाली रहती है, और इसकी सत्य परखता जो है वो बनने के लिए नए साइंटिस्ट की पैदा होने की जरूरत है। और बड़े अच्छे साइंटिस्ट प्रोफेसर एस भगवंतम, जो डीएससी थे एंड ही वाज एडवाइजर इन द मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ डिफेंस 50 साल पहले, तो उन्होंने ये कह दिया था कि वेयर साइंस एंड्स द स्पिरिचुअलिटी बिगिंस। तो हमारा आयुर्वेद तो वेद से है, इसलिए वहां पर स्पिरिचुअल अप्रोच भी उतनी ही है। तो साइंस को, स्पिरिचुअलिटी को साइंस के फ्रेमवर्क बनाना तो और टफ हो जाएगा। आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। आप आज इतने दोनों वेबिनार में आपने प्रेजेंटेशन दिया, इतनी एनर्जी से आप युक्त हैं। हमें खुशी है हमारे आईआरएस के लिए कि दोनों ही रेयर टॉपिक थे और उसमें आपको उद्बोधन हम लोगों को सुनने को मिला। आपका बहुत बहुत आभार, धन्यवाद है। हम समझते हैं कि आज के हमारे
डॉक्टर सैकत बसु जी।
दूसरे वक्ता जी साकेत बसु साहब हैं, ऑनरेबल डॉक्टर साकेत बसु जी। यस, नाउ यू आर अवेलेबल। यस, ग्रेट ग्रेट ग्रेट। मैं बहुत आपका आदर के साथ मैं स्वागत करता हूं आपके विचार और उद्बोधन के लिए। आज साइंस, नेशनल साइंस डे है, उसमें आपके निश्चित रूप से बहुत ही कामयाब और बहुत ही अनुकरणीय आपके शब्द होंगे। आपका स्वागत है। नमस्कार।
Thank you, Agnihotri ji. Namaste, namaste. Thank you, Pawan Sharma ji. Thank you. Today is National Science Day. And while across India we are celebrating various disciplines of science and their impacts on the society, I think it is also very important for us, as you have mentioned clearly in AYUSH Samriddhi, that we need to propagate and promote Ayurveda, the study among the public. Like, we have various colleges, institutes, organization, research institute, undergraduate and postgraduate institutes where students are completing the degree and getting into this profession, which is one important thing. But the other important thing is also to connect the people, like the general mass, with the importance and implications of Ayurveda. A vast section of our society till date is not very well connected with Ayurveda, and they also have all kinds of misunderstanding or misinterpretation of Ayurvedic medication applications, which needs to be investigated, inculcated, and it should be the responsibility of all associated with Ayurveda to promote the subject to the best of their ability, to bring it to every corner of the society, not just the rich or the poor, not just the middle class or the lower class or the upper class. It should reflect and reach every section of the society equally. And the misunderstanding and misconceptions about Ayurveda for those who do not use this system, I'm not talking about doctors, but I'm talking about, like, the general public, the patients who are not used to Ayurveda, to make them understand the importance and implications of Ayurveda. Even till date, if you would explore various corners of the society, and particularly among our educated class, several of us still are very scared of Ayurveda, in the sense they think that uh, farther from whether it is scientific or not, is like it's a very complicated process of taking Ayurvedic medication. Like, they still think about, say, through thinking about 100 years back, where you have to collect that particular plant species, get them, wash them, clean them, crush them, and get your madhu or honey to make that mixture, or other plant resources which are not so easily available. So one has used to have this question, that it is so difficult to collect all this medication, and then the process of crushing and mixing and everything, unless you have a trained veggie or a trained Ayurvedic expert. How am I to handle this medication? This is so cumbersome. Our time is so little. Although it may have very significant impact on my health, the application and the process is very, very much difficult. How in a modern town, where the time, or in a modern city now, we are so much busy with our job, with so much little time to leave for your office. Once you get out from your bed, when can you take this medication? When can you make time for Ayurvedic medication, if it's just so cumbersome, so difficult? But we need to make people understand that we have crossed those 100 years. Though gone are the days when you'd see, like, a veggie sitting in a room with thousands and hundreds of plants and vyams and bottles all across, and then he's bringing each bottle and container out, or plant out, crushing them with mortar and pestle, mixing them with honey and whatnot, and prescribing it to the patients. Just like allopathic medication, Ayurvedic medications now have, various forms of capsules, syrup, tonics, tablets. They are usually now available in 100 different forms, easily available, easy for application, easy for patients to take, very easily. Just as you would take any other regular medication, you just bring in those strips, you just get those tablet strips, as you would have been for non-conventional or modern medicine. It is the same in case of Ayurveda. So these huge change in Ayurvedic pharmaceuticals, or Ayurvedic medication, in which medicine has been made easily available, just in the same form, or just in the same format, as simple and as easy for application as in case of our regular allopathic medication. This, not many people across the country who are not associated with Ayurvedic practices, or who are not keen or used to Ayurvedic medical treatment, are afraid of. The other fear that I've heard from across people is that, for all allopathic medication, there is a matra, right? Like, there is 5 milligram, 2 milligram, 0.5 milligram, and the doctor would recommend like 0.5 milligram 3 times a day, 2 times a day, etc. So there is a dosage, and there is an application regularly on the basis of that. But when you are taking plants, like, that when you are crushing plants and mixing and taking it in a crude form, how could you maintain that concentration? But as I am mentioning, that the Ayurvedic formulations of medication and capsules and tablets have changed so extensively. The dosage and compensation and the formulation in which they are coming out now is as easy, as equivalent, as dosage oriented as in case of allopathic medication. So they come as tablets. You should similarly take 2 tablets 3 times a day, or 1 tablet 3 times a day, ad libitum, or before food, after food. Very, very much similar to allopathic medications as people are used to. But most people, or a large section of the educated society, educated member section of our society, is not aware of this. I'm saying that they may be ignorant, they may not have that particular education, awareness, and sensitivity about Ayurveda. But it should be our role and our goal as a part of the fraternity of Ayurveda enthusiasts, Ayurveda practitioners, Ayurvedic researchers, to bring to the notice of common people that how this medication system has changed and how easy and simple it is to apply and use Ayurvedic medications. Not many people has visited Ayurvedic pharmaceutical stores, and they have very little idea that medicines are available in bottles and stuff. It does not come in a bunch of plant material that the old veg used to tie up on a banana leaf and hand it to you. This is no longer that old Ayurveda anymore. It is as close as modern medications now, and it's very easy for their application. But it is very important for us to promote this, because still now these misconceptions, misideas, or wrong ideas about Ayurveda has been restricting a lot of people who are not traditionally used to this form of medication, not to use this, just being scared of. So no matter whatever we do, for patients or for our society, the word of mouth is one of the most important thing. If my neighbor says that I have used this Ayurvedic medication for this particular thing and I have become well and I have benefited, then no matter what amount of advertisement you put it on, or no matter what amount of the doctors recommend, people have way more faith on that particular word. So we call it as the word of mouth, and it has significant impact. So we need to impact and influence our neighbor first, so as to reach out the long range of other potential customers for Ayurveda who are just standing outside in the fringe areas. They possibly like to use Ayurveda, but possibly they are not very comfortable or not very knowledgeable about how effective it is or how useful it is. Once they get this feedback from the closed ones, whether these friends, whether they are colleagues or neighbors who have experienced and tried this, then they become more confident. For example, many are afraid of Panchakarma. Not many people know what exactly Panchakarma is, but those who are borderline ideas, oh, these are decoctions and stuff that is put inside you, then you have to do vomiting, it goes inside, you may get a heart attack, because it's very intensive treatment. But if they would rather know how the Panchakarma appears, and for that, if you only chant Sanskrit slokas, which 90% of the people do not understand, it will only scare them. In very simple Hindi, in very simple English, in very simple vernacular languages, you need to explain what Panchakarma is. Most people think that it is a way. I'm very serious. Most people think that it is a Kriya Karam before you are passing away. It is a religious practice in Ayurveda that you do before a person, when there is no hope for that person, you do that performance so that his yatra to the next lok is easier. That it is a proper medical treatment. Not many people outside the fraternity of Ayurveda is known. They're very scared of Panchakarma. So Panchakarma is associated with something like Shraddha rituals. So people are scared to even think about and go to the hospital for a Panchakarma. Then when they learn this is a 3 days treatment, 5 days treatment, 7 days treatments, or 9 days treatment, they're even scared of even applying and trying to do this. Oh my God, I do not know what will happen. 7 days of oil and all kinds of extraction. This is going there, and people are going to, I have diabetes. I may not be able to withstand this treatment, or I have hypertension, or other kinds of cardiac related disease. It may be dangerous for my health. But how many times, as Ayurvedic practitioners, I'm not an Ayurvedic practitioner, but I'm saying a vast majority of Ayurvedic practitioners have collected the videos of Panchakarma being organized or Panchakarma being conducted, and it is made available to the public with, explanation in your simple Hindi. Sanskrit may be the mother of long languages, long live Sanskrit. But we have to understand that just like Latin, it is a dying language. It is not a part and parcel of our language for a vast majority of the people in this country. So if we continue slokas and tantras and mantras, it only gives a feeling of hocus pocus about Ayurveda. Most of our journals, most of our readings and materials outside the Ayurveda fraternity needs to come up with vernacular languages or English or Hindi explanation of Ayurvedic medical applications and formulations. The more it is accessible to the people, the more will it be easier for people to understand. Just think about like this. Why was Buddha's teaching so popular in ancient India? Like there was the Brahmanic teachings, there was these Hindu scriptures and stuff, but why and how these Buddha teachings become so extremely popular across India? The most important answer for this was he delivered all his messages and stuff in common Pali, which was the language of the ordinary people who represents the vast majority. It was not in Sanskrit. It was not in the classical languages that most people do not understand. So Sanskrit was the language of the scholars. And scholars are only a handful in number. The vast majority of the people in ancient India used to express and communicate in Pali. Because it was so much common for people to understand his teachings, understand because it was made available in the common languages, it became extremely popular. People were able to understand, they were able to appreciate, and they were able to integrate into their system. So Sanskrit is great. Sanskrit is a wonderful language with all due respect to Sanskrit. But if we keep Ayurveda restricted to Sanskrit slokas, or for same in the same as if you restrict Unani in the same way of restricted you in the languages of Urdu or other Farsi and other languages, which is a vast majority of not language of the vast majority of the people, we are actually cutting them off because it goes over their head and shoulders. They do not understand what you are talking about. They think it is a kind of a religious ritual. Maybe this is a kind of a psychological ritual. Maybe this is a kind of a puja or a worship. But that it is associated with our holistic health and how important it is on our day-to-day life, we have to come out of Sanskrit. We have to get out in other ordinary simple languages. So on the National Science Day, I humbly suggest, that we need to come up with more translation of Ayurvedic literature, Ayurvedic formulations, making them simple, making them easier, making them available to people by coming up with them in our local languages, vernacular languages, English, Hindi, all the majoritarian languages, so that we are able to reach the majority of the people. If you look into the literature or Ayurvedic medical literature that the private companies, I'm not going to use the name of any company, but if you look into the literature that is provided by most of the Ayurvedic companies now, is mostly in very simple languages, whether it is in English, whether it is in vernacular language, whether it is in Hindi, all the listings and formulations are very simply laid out. There is no Sanskrit slokas, there is no Sanskrit scriptures and integrated there, which is provided. It becomes only restricted to scholars. Most people won't understand. So in the same way, for general popularization of Ayurveda, it is very important to make it accessible and reachable to communities across religion, across our communities, castes, and across various groups. We need to make it more accessible and available in other languages in addition to Sanskrit. So this is one very important message that I personally felt has been holding Ayurveda to only becoming a text for scholars to a text for all. Classical music, as we call it, is a music for the mass. It is not the music for the class. Ayurveda in this 21st century or this new millennium needs to be the medication for the mass, not the medication for the class. So with this message, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to come on to this platform. And let us pray that from this very National Science Day, we promote Ayurveda in every accessible Indian languages that we have to spread across the country, work together also for making translation in European languages, whether it is Russian, French, Spanish, Portuguese, Italian. We need to hire translators to translate our text, make this formulation, medication, treatments, and procedures available in other major languages and to spread them. Bible, the holy textbook of the Christian, is one of the most read texts in the world and is one of the most translated text of the world too. And that it has reached to every corner of the world is because Bible has been translated in so many different languages across the world that it became possible for many communities who had no association with Christianity to at least be able to read the text and get the message of Jesus, or get the message of Christianity and Christ and the religious practices, etc., to make them available, accessible. If you go across India, you will see the translation of Bible, like forget about English and Hindi, it is available in every possible Indian languages in every communities across India. We should learn from this experience and make Ayurvedic text, make Ayurvedic popular books accessible and available in our local, regional, vernacular languages and also international foreign languages, to reach out to a large number of customer base that we are missing out only because of cultural alienation. People, possibly because of their lack of understanding of Ayurveda, is not getting within the folds of Ayurveda. Once they realize, read for themselves, understand the literature, the medicinal importance, the scope and opportunities. Thus, opportunities are like, the sky is the limit. Hundreds and thousands of more patients will pour into Ayurveda because it has so lifelong and life-altering experiences in having holistic health treated. Thank you very much, Pavanji. Thank you very much, Agnihotriji. It has been a pleasure, and wish you both a happy Science Day.
Thank you. Thank you. Happy Science Day to you also. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Vasuji. You have spoken flawlessly over the topic. Two very important things came in your address. The one is very silly one, that is the Panchkarma. So, because of the lack of knowledge, Panchkarma probably could be understood as a Panchnama. What you told that this is the word used in the police department after any accident or any death.
Like a post-mortem kind of a thing. Or many think it is a ritual for many, even so that those who are not Hindu or those not associated with Hindu rituals and stuff, they even think that it is the part and parcel of the Shraddha ritual. People who are destined to die, they do a Panchakarma because it makes your life passage easier to the next world. That it is a medical treatment, a vast majority of people do not even understand outside. So we need to work out on these, bring out translation to make people understand
it. It should be made very simple in the local language itself. And the other thing which I came to know, of course, it has got very important that we had a webinar on the topic that the medical sciences to be taught in the regional languages or vernacular, so that they will be these will be understandable to the regional persons. So was the case with our Ayurvedic Sanskrit version. But at the same time, Jayatu Sanskritam, Vadatu Sanskritam, Sanskrit is immortal, I should say, instead of it's not been in practice by majority of our countrymen or other country, but interested are still going and learning this language. But the hidden fact of this language, especially in Ayurveda or Veda, must be made available to the language, translated language, understandable to the old world. At the same time, what I know till now that it is Gita which has been translated by the maximum languages of world. You told about the Bible, but still both the religious epics they should be having the widest area, so that persons are knowing about the culture and the spirituality, whatever the followers are there. So in this way, I feel that the time of dynasty of Buddha itself, the Pali was not that much understandable to all persons, but still it was broadly spread wherever the Buddhism was followed in Lanka, Nepal, Indonesia, etc. So Pali was so good and supportive language. So our science means the language itself is a science. अगर देखा जाए भाषा विज्ञान, we have got science in the language itself. So on the very science day, all these say hidden factors are also be promoted to maintain the quality of language, the quality of science, and the quality of our text wherever they are there. Maybe in library, maybe in the form of manuscripts, so that it should also be given a life as far the text is concerned. Thank you so much for associating with us and sparing time.
We can have the comments from Dr. Sumarna Sanyal Mukherjee ji.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Third one.
Welcome, Dr. Sumrana ji. Welcome. Now, please coordinate, sir.
But shall I have to say something?
On
Hello?
science,
Oh, thank you very much. It's a very good honor for me to say something about the Science Day. Basically, I have no preparation. I don't know I have to say anything regarding this matter. However, I can say like this: science is everywhere. Science is a phenomenon, you know. So the most important sense of knowledge, Vishesh Gyan, that is the science. Science is everywhere. Science is every aspects of our life. We are exploring science in every sense of humanism. The human being generation wise, it has been established the every aspects of science. Basically, if we can say that health system, the allopathic, homeopathic, Ayush, Unani, whatever the system is there, the traditional system, whatever is there, everywhere we are exploring science. I can say there is the traditional way of recovering the senses of diseases, that is the healing and touch therapy. Healing and touch therapy was so popular in the ancient India. And when the people there is no knowledge of the medicines, if there is when there is no knowledge of the developing the medicinal aspects, so then the people used to do, if you are getting pain in the stomach, they can touch your stomach, and then the pain used to recover. So this was that is a very old process of therapy. This is also a therapy when the healing and touch therapy, especially the tribal people like the Ora, Munda, Santal, they used to practice this heal and touch therapy. So everything, the medicine, it has been proved that the anthropology has given birth of the medical sciences. Not only the allopathic, homeopathic, it's also the giving birth of the Ayush itself. Because when the people are living, especially the old, in the ancient time, this time when the civilization was going on and when the evolution was going on in the tertiary time period, especially it has been noticed that the Neanderthal man, who were the first modern man who has created so many things like the invention of the fire, the agriculture, they have invented. At the same time, at that juncture, the medical science also taken part. This is what has happened. So they can use the naturopathy for the recovery of any kinds of diseases. I have visited one village in Madhya Pradesh itself. There was a healing and touch process practiced by the tribal people, and they also practiced. They are living in the 1,000 feet below of the plane surface. There is no treatment as such. There is no the doctor as such. There is no modernization has reached till today. So they used to do? They used to do the naturopathy, the roots of the trees, then the roots of the herbs, shrubs. They used to do the medicine for the purpose for the recovering of their health issues. So Ayurveda is a very important thing, though the Dr. Boshu has said that if we use the Sanskrit, through the Sanskrit, it is not possible to get into the large number, the vast people at large. But the one language system, it is very difficult right at this moment to explore in this one language system. But the Ayush has the another one responsibility to explore the Ayush medicine in the local mass. It has to be translated in various, dialectical aspects. It is also very essential for the Ayush to explore this Ayush system. So here, if we can explore it for the ushering of the great knowledge and the exploring of the health system, then we can develop ourselves to recover through this indigenous technique and through this Ayush technique, to this giving the new formation of medicines, because alternative medicines is a very good sources now. We are when Ayush was only there, so there is no treatment of the surgery, then the other plantations, gene plantations, the modern technologies was not there. There the people used to do the Ayurvedic. But in that case, when the modern system have generated on that particular aspect, when the allopathic has taken birth from this medicinal purpose, so allopathy has enriched themselves, because just because of implementation of various types of surgery, then the injection system, the pushing system, whatever. But Ayush also have to rejuvenate the modern technology, incorporate the modern technology with the indigenous method of technology of the Ayush itself. So Ayush has the rich source, Ayush has the vast area to implementation and incorporation about the new methods of technology. Then Ayush can enrich themselves. So the alternative medicines now, with the chronic diseases, which is regular aspects of where there is no answer of the science and then no answer of the the allopathic treatment, then the alternative medicine recover those present in the patients, in the manner of patients, and taking time they can recover it. It has happened and it is going on and it has the wider scale for the recovering of the various types of diseases. Hence, the science day is a science. We can say there is a different types of science accumulation. Not only the medical engineering is there, then the social sciences are there, the humanities are there, all are belonging to the science system. Because whenever we know anything new and anything we can restoring ourselves in the new orientation, that is the science, the more sense of life is the we can implement the science in every aspect and every steps of our life. It is the trial and error method and the experimental method when we can do it through this science. So science is a very good aspect, and it is the more system oriented, because in arts also we are experimenting the science technology. The color was what we are exploring, the color what we are giving the system in the any drawing or any capacity building, then we are also making the science itself in within us. So science is the our nature, science is our incorporation, science is our life, science is our well-being, science is our everything and day-to-day life. So science day is a very good thing and good ideological point of view that we are celebrating science day in an Ayush platform. I really thankful to the all dignitaries and co-speakers and speakers, whoever they are. So I really thankful to that. Thank you very much. Thanks to all.
Thank you, Suparnaji. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Really, you have made the science day. Alveo, please, sir.
Thank you, and thank you so much. And I think instantly you have been requested to deliver some words on this today's topic of Science Day, and you very nicely, rightfully submitted your opinion over the Science Day. And really, when the things are properly systematically put forward with a strong ground, it itself reflects like a scientific approach. So thank you so much. And I reached to the end of our presenters. I thank all the guest speakers of both the webinars, right from Professor Nishan Shukla ji and all the senior dignitaries of today's both webinars. We contributed a lot over the topic the rare diseases, uh, especially Dr. Supriya Sanalji, also Dr. Our Sarika Patelji and Professor Sharma, BP Sharma also put forward some very, very important things. they made the day or the topic of the rare diseases, as well as the second topic of National Science Day. Again, Professor Shukla ji and Jagat Basu ji and Madam Danyal ji talked a lot with the greater concept that Ayurveda in a form of rare disease alternative approach or in a form of the scientific approach. Ayurveda and Ayush will remain at its place scientifically and also a good support of the treatment suffering from the rare diseases. With these words, I again thank all the guest speakers of today and say goodbye, namaskar, Shubhratri, सभी को प्रणाम.
Shubhratri. Good night, sir. Good night. Good night to all.
Good night. And second.